What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Stocks to Watch. And today, again, was an exciting day. Only if you traded stocks. From an index perspective, it was just too volatile. And I think we had been discussing that the bias is on the bearish side, and Bank Nifty did exactly what I was expecting. Now, Bank Nifty is reacting from an area of demand, and on the contrary, Nifty is at a supply. So it's going to be a very, very interesting area, and that's the reason I'm saying the markets are at a dangerous area because Bank Nifty is near a demand, Nifty is at an area of supply, and it's going to get a little confusing as as we approach the end of the week. So let's get started. So today, I'll just start off with the trades that I took today. So I had, a couple of trades today. I think 6 or 7 of them. A majority of them, I tried to close them as soon as I realized they were not working. So I have Aarti, which is like a futures position that I'm holding. It's just a starter position. It's a swing trade. Apart from that, I booked silver. I shorted silver at around 95,670, so caught like a 1200, 300 point move. HCL Tech is a position that we closed today, and Tata Consumer was again a position that I closed today. Tech Mahindra was is something that I'm going to be looking forward even tomorrow, but today I closed it. Once Bank Nifty and Nifty had like a sudden rampant fall around 2 o'clock. So I just tried to lock in the gains that I had. So this is a verified PNL. I'll just refresh just so that everyone can know this. And now I'm going to get started with my watch list. So it's going to be an interesting day for a couple of reasons. So let's get started with Nifty first. Now, if you look at Nifty, Nifty is basically trading at an area of supply. So this is probably one of the most important areas of supply for Nifty. And I'm going to go on the 15-minute time frame, and this is the supply that matters, right? So I think this entire region of supply is a very, very crucial area. And Nifty is just, I think, maybe 50, 60 points away. Yep. So it's around 100 points away from entering into this supply area, and that's where things are going to get interesting. So I think Nifty is going to face a lot of supply side pressure, and I think it was already seen in a lot of heavyweights. Even though Reliance was up today, even though I think HDFC Bank did occasionally well, but still there was weakness across the board. So I think Nifty and the large caps, I think they're going to have a hard time because I think Nifty is approaching the supply very, very soon. Apart from that, if you talk about Bank Nifty played out exactly how we anticipated. So I think we had a discussion that Bank Nifty is probably going to react from an area of demand. Bank Nifty did exactly that. So I'm going to take you to a smaller time frame. And this is what Bank Nifty did. So Bank Nifty came back down and then suddenly just tapped into this little demand zone. And I think we have been making this demand zone, this institutional area of demand from a long period of time. Bank Nifty comes in and then liquidates everybody and then immediately tries to jump harder. So I think this is an area where people have made and lost a lot of money because Bank Nifty was, kind of breaking this, then immediately came back down, liquidated everybody out of the position and then immediately reversed back up. So I think this was like a very, very surprising move by Bank Nifty towards the end of the day. And I think now Bank Nifty, since all the supply exists at these higher areas, I think Bank Nifty has all the rights to kind of come over here and then start taking some supplies. I think Bank Nifty has a room for it to at least move 1700 or 1600 point if it has to reach this highest end of the supply, which I feel is unlikely. But I think if PSU banks, because I think they're setting up, so if PSU banks and maybe SBI and HDFC Bank, if these heavyweights kind of start picking up, I think Bank Nifty could have a good move. So Bank Nifty bullish, at least the bias is bullish. For Nifty, the bias is bearish because it's trading near supply. Now, today's watch list has limited number of stocks because I have focused only on the stocks which are setting up perfectly, reacting from perfect areas because of what Nifty is doing. So I think the next 2 days are going to be super cautious days because the location of the market is a little vulnerable to for us to create fresh long positions. So I'll get started with IT and I'll go with Infi first. So Infi again setting up this nice little base and then preparing for a move higher. We saw Nifty IT do really well today. So we saw the likes of Tech Mahindra. We saw I think even Coforge. So I'll just open Nifty IT just to kind of show you what really happened. So I'm just going to open IT FNO just to show you like what these IT stocks did. So if you look at the names, LTTS was up 2.5%. Coforge was up 2.5% today. Coforge was actually up 5% at one point in time. Infi, Birlasoft, Tech Mahindra, all of them did decently well. So I think IT is an interesting place. I think there would be some action in IT. I think that's going to be really, really interesting to watch. Apart from that, I think there are a bunch of other names. So Astral, after a very big spike up, comes back down aggressively and lands back into this little order block over here. So I think it's going to be interesting to see on how this one reacts. Aarti Industries, one from the chemical name. It's a disclaimer. I already have a long position in this. So if you are watching this video, this is not a financial advice. Please consult your financial advisor before taking any decision. I am SEBI registered advisor, but this is not an advice or a financial recommendation. Now, Aarti Industries, a chemical name, sweeps liquidity below, trying to contract in this range. So I'm trying to, play with like a 3% or a 20-point stop loss all the way until this supply. This might take some time to kind of unfold. Tech Mahindra is another name setting up really nicely in a good basing formation. I think I like it. And IT, I think I have Infi and Tech Mahindra as my two favorite names that I'm going to be playing. Sun TV is another name setting up really, really nice base. Next up, we've got SRF, which is again doing very similar action to what Aarti has done. The only concern over here is the chemical stocks together have to move. So I think Aarti and SRF are going to be my top picks from chemicals. Infi and Tech Mahindra would be our top picks from IT. Now let's come to the diversified section. So delivery and the logistics space coming back to this area of demand. So I like it. Bank of India, I think from the PSU packs, I think this is the one with the best risk reward with a nice tight base. Campus Activewear is again setting up a nice base formation. Earnings coming up on 28th of May, but I think this is pretty much set. UBL from the alcohol space setting up really nicely. Closing was really nice. So I think this could start having some action, and Sigachi continues to be on the list where I think there could be some solid action moving forward. So I think all of these names are very, very specific names, very, very concise. Watch this today because I think the markets are going to get a little trickier. Now, going back to the names that we had on our radar for today, I think Sicco was up 10%. So this is 22nd of May. Sicco was up 10%. Granules are up 4.5%. This was on the watch list. Sirma, IREDA, Metropolis was again up 2.8%. So at one point, Metropolis is I think up 5%. If I'm not wrong, yep, 7-8% from the lows. NHPC, Lupin, all of these names also did really well. Right now, they are on my watch list, but I'm not really watching them so, very, very carefully. Why? Because I think the move has done. And I think there was probably going to be an intraday move coming in tomorrow. Fortis also tried to break out of the range, but didn't really close nicely. EID Parry doing the same thing. So I think the markets are kind of, getting a taste of their own supply. So that's the reason I'm being a little cautious on what kind of names could kind of perform. So these are the names that will be on my watch list for tomorrow. Now, one more thing is I think there are going to be earnings announced for the next 2 days. A lot of companies might be announcing their earnings. So be a little cautious. And now again, from I think Monday onwards, I think the markets is going to see some kind of long unwinding taking place. So please keep that on radar. Apart from that, I'll just show you some of the nicer trades that we took. So we went long on Tata Consumer today. This was the trade, volume drying up, very nice base setup. And then it really moved very, very nicely. So there was a good solid one-way rally that kind of came in this one. Apart from that, I think there was a good play in CIE Automotive as well. So I think there was a good trade over here as well. Apart from that, I think we've been, holding a couple of positions, and I think we expect the markets to be bullish, especially when it comes to when it comes to mid caps. I think there is still a lot of action left in that. In terms of futures and options, Tech Mahindra, HCL, both of these positions we had exited Tech Mahindra almost at cost, and HCL Tech with some profits. So I think on an overall basis, the markets are still hot, and I hope you enjoyed the video and the research put it in this. So please do consider subscribing to the channel and drop a like, drop a comment if you like all of the content that I put for you. Thank you so much for tuning in. All the best. I'll see you in the next one.